Who's ready to get down with HCP? Good. Okay. Okay. There's a question for you, but we're not going to talk about the question yet because first Anna wants to give you other things to do.
Yeah, I do. Homework to begin with. So this is our session right here. For more of our sessions, visit either Adria 1 at 5:30 or Sunset at 5:30. And then finally, we have a very deep architectural session tomorrow at 10 a.m. after the big party. Very, very nervous about it. So please join us if we're here.
Yes. So you all should attend all those to learn how to do AI because here you're going to learn how to not do AI. Okay? All right. Okay. So let's do a camp exercise. Okay. Who is in the camp of I love AI and I use it for everything? I told you.
You did tell me.
She's like, no one's going to say that. I'm like, Anna, this is not 2 years ago.
That's silly. And both of my coworkers said that.
They all said that. Okay. How many of you hate AI and never will use it for anything? 1. Okay. 2. Okay. So you're just confusing. So I like that. How many of you are in the middle?
Yeah. I expected everybody to be straight in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. So how many of you stance has changed in the last 3 years? Yeah. Right? Because AI used to be real stupid and now it's real stupid with conviction. So it changed. My stance has changed. Mine used to be, I'm not going to use AI, even though I use it for a living. For coding, I use it, but for everything else, I'm not going to use it. But I've started to use it for other things. And that is a big change for me. That's a big change for me. So Anna and I were both squarely in the middle.
In the middle.
In the middle. Okay. So we want to talk about the reality of how humans actually really hate tech. Okay. This is Anna spray painting. She's very good at it. That is something we all do as a group. We get together and, graffiti walls and cause damage and generally are criminals because that is a uniquely human activity. But the thing about spray painting that I love is AI cannot replicate it. The thing that you spray paint on the wall, good luck writing a prompt to replicate that.
In fact, I tried. You'll see later on in this presentation that there's a picture generated. It's not great. And it took a lot of prompts.
It took a lot of prompts to get there. Okay. So let's talk about how much humans hate technology. A tale of 2 people at this conference. Nick Dolman. We ran into the airport in France. He's sitting there minding his business. He did everything correctly. Tanya, we left, it was in the US. She did everything correctly, booked flights, everything. We get here. Nick's luggage in France. Tanya's plane in the US. No, Tanya. We're like, this is no good. Tanya's here, Nick's luggage is here too. It took days and it's not exactly easy to get to Portrush, right? So this happened to 2 people here at this conference, highly technical people who are very connected, who travel a lot. Who's excited to talk to the chatbot? Are any of you ever excited to talk to a chatbot when something like this happens? Anyone?
But did anyone ever work in a customer service scenario? Like, did you pick up the phone?
Yep.
Yeah, me too, right? Me too. So in that night shift from like 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. for Vodafone in my case, everybody's calling you angry after they've had a day's work and after, they've dealt with their child and whatever. And they're asking you one question, mostly, why is my bill so high? Like that was the biggest thing that they wanted to fight about. So, and therefore, the SLAs were really, really high. And that was our marker. You did not hit the SLA. You did not get your bonus. So I understand why people built the chatbot to solve that issue. Mm-hmm. But what did they do?
They did a stupid thing, which is everyone's first AI project is we should fire our customer service people and replace them with chatbots, right?
Right. So they created other issues.
Mm-hmm. So the chatbot may solve the question quickly. It probably is not right and probably not the answer. How many of you have hit human, escalate, 0? Yes. We in tech do that as consumers. We in tech create chatbots for a living. How insane are we, right? We're obsessed with contact centers, right? How many iterations of contact center have we worked on? This is probably what, our 50th version of a contact center?
Yeah, many.
We're obsessed with it, optimizing this problem, but we actually really, really, really do not like the solution. And I find that endlessly fascinating, right? So what does this mean? It means that AI is having this moment where we're so conflicted about it, and that's a good thing. So I don't know if any of you saw this, but social experiment. This person posted a picture of a real Monet and said, I used AI to generate a Monet. What do you guys think? And the comments are incredible, right? And this is the first one, death matters life over here. It's like, it's Monet-ish. Yes. And certainly pretty, but at the risk of sounding pretentious, M dashes, it would not hold up next to the real thing, seen face to face in a museum. The first time I really saw Monet's paintings up close, it was astonishing. The brush strokes here aren't as precise. There's less subtle variations in the shades. Overall effect is smudgier than a Monet. It seems flatter than a Monet. Even on X, I think there's a difference. When people know something's AI or made by tech, they hate it. They immediately value it less, right? And this comes from this place where we as humans, even young people, they do not value digital things as much as analog things. They don't value digital creations by creators as much as analog creators. And I always find that to be really cool and really interesting, because the more you say, I did this myself, human to human, the more value it has. So we're going to move to this world where human created is going to have a premium price tag above AI generated. And we're already seeing why. Because AI generated is mid. Yeah, it's mid. Okay, so I want you to tell this story. We're in Seattle in March.
Yeah. So Donna's like, let's just go to a wine bar, but it's not going to be what?
It's a tap wine bar. Have any of you been to one of these? You like put your card in, you tap, and then you get 4 ounces pour. Yeah. So I said, we don't have a lot of time. We had an hour till dinner. And I said, do you want to go to a tap wine bar or do you want to go see a sommelier?
And I was like, what is that? Why would we do that?
Right.
Drinking wine is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's not an efficiency project, Donna.
Yeah.
Right. This is in Seattle. She's like,
I know you're very productive.
She's like, you don't need to smash rosés as fast as possible before dinner. We can sit nicely and have a sommelier explain this one. And we had such a beautiful experience. We bonded with the guy, etc. Something that never would have happened otherwise. So humans really remember human to human connection and contact, right? They very, very rarely remember something hyper efficient done for you very, very quickly. So we have this relationship with tech where we don't actually like it as much as human to human. Sometimes we prefer the convenience, self-checkout at a grocery. Okay.
Self-checkout. And I was telling you earlier that something that I've been debating with a lot in my head is the question of why is AI not more useful at this point? Like, I want robots. I want an AI to come and clean my house and fold my laundry and put dishes away and even like prepare my child for school, or at least all of the things that I need in the morning. Like, I want it to be more useful. Is it more useful?
No. So we're having a problem where we don't like tech, but we're becoming more and more reliant on it. And how many of you have noticed that? Like a super over-reliance, especially in the last, I would say this year, was the big tipping point. From January till now, suddenly everyone's using AI to build everything. And that's weird. It started with code. I'm like, okay, code, that makes sense. We know about it. But when you see normal people on the street, like Claude coding PowerPoints, I'm like, why do you even know what that is? That's so strange. But it happened very quickly this year, right? So let's talk a little bit about this faster horses thing, right? Henry Ford famously did not say, if we asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horse. Fine. We are like real serious about faster horses. Okay. My first job at Microsoft was building an operating system that no one likes called Windows Vista. So the way we shipped operating systems then was we'd write code, we'd compile the code. It took 36 hours. We would burn the code onto a disk and mail it to your house. Yes. How many of you have received a disk before in the mail? Yes. You're welcome. If we kept doing things the way we used to, we would be burning a lot of discs a lot faster and having Amazon take over mailing them to your house, right? That would have been a faster horse. It wouldn't have been a better solution. Instead, we rethought how you build operating systems completely and how do you deploy it from the ground up. And the entire deployment process of an operating system now is it should be invisible. It shouldn't be a big production that arrives in your house and you take down your machine for like a week to do this. It should be invisibly happening on a Tuesday. When you notice, we have failed. So we're trying to have these things that used to be a huge rigmarole no longer be a rigmarole. By the way, that's what we used to call a full stack dev in the past. burn you a disk. So now devs are like, I'm a full stack dev. I'm like, oh really? Did you burn an operating system on a disk and mail it to someone? They're like, no, that's crazy. I'm like, right. So we spend a lot of time doing the same work we used to faster instead of reinventing work to be different. Instead of saying, does this work need to exist? Can this work not be touched by us at all? Maybe machines can just do the work, right? So we spend a lot of time redoing all the things we've already done, but faster. And I think we are at a point where instead of thinking and spending more time with our brains and other humans, we're spending more time with machines. And machines don't know how to reimagine work. They're just going to help you do it faster. Let's have a question. Who all used AI to create their presentations for this conference?
Or to help them.
Or to help them. Lots. Okay. Keynotes, every single one used AI to make their presentations. Mine were done by Claude Pilot, except the stolen slides that I stole from someone. Old school, stolen from other people. Yep. Sorry, they call it repurposed. But
building on other people's work.
Building on the work of others. Yep. I built it on the work of others, built on the work of others. But every single person used a Copilot, Claude Pilot thingamabob to make their slides. Is that good or bad? Neither, right? It all depends on what level of depth they got into. So what we're optimizing for, right? As we go and fixate on faster horses, we're just taking on more projects. But we're losing touch of what I call our HCP, what we call our HCP, which is your heart. Okay, we're going to do it as a group. Ready? You know group projects. I love a group project. All of you hate this so much, but I made German people do it, so I know I can make you do it. Okay. Heart, cognition, presence. You already know it. He's like, I was paying attention the first time. I'm like, good. Okay. Heart, cognition, presence. Now, what does this mean? So Anna, let's talk about heart. Like this, we're not touchy-feely people, you and I. So this was, a little bit of a stretch.
And we're also like very different.
Yeah.
We do very, very different things.
Yes.
But it all boils down to the same thing. Like what gives you pleasure? What draws you in? What sort of work makes you not want to leave your desk, your computer, your area, your meeting? What is it? What draws you?
What is actually fulfilling?
What's actually fulfilling, And thinking about that for me is normally very, very hard because I'm a very practical person. And therefore, it's not in my being to take the time and think about things without doing something. If I don't have output, I feel like I'm not
being productive
enough, right?
Yeah. So the heart part is interesting because we've started to lose our take. Right? It's like my take on this thing that happened is blah. Instead, we ask AI, this thing happened. What do you think? We're like, why is AI telling us what we feel about a topic? Right? Yeah. That is insanity because that is very uniquely from our own experience, not just the documented data in the world that AI is generating from. The second one is cognition, which we are really leaning into AI for that, but we're starting to lose our ability to think deeper.
Exactly. So how do you, in fact, even though all of what I've said about me is very, very true, when you asked me this question, I had no problem telling you what my heart, cognition, and presence is in like 30 seconds, right? Because they go back to the thing that you want to do, that you're good at. So cognition in my situation is, how can I tame AI to do what my heart tells me to do, but better, more complex? How do I reason with it, better?
So basically, it's like Your heart tells you your take, your thoughts on things. Cognition tells you how to do that, how to put it into practice. And then the last part, presence, is how do you present that to the world, right?
What does it mean for other people?
What does it mean? And that's the part that AI is never going to take. But we keep trying to outsource it, right? Presence is how the conversation changes when you are involved, when you're present, when you are involved. Right. And this is very interesting because I've noticed, noticed myself doing this. I will not pay attention in a meeting because I know there's a recap later. Right. How many of you are guilty? Yeah. I'll listen to the recap. There's going to be a recap later. I'll just listen to the recap. I'll skim it. And in this meeting, I'm going to work on email or the presentation I have next. Right. This is very normal. We are not being present. And honestly, I'm not one to say you should be present in every meeting because some of them are giant wastes of time. That's okay. But there's ones where we should be present, especially when they relate to the first two steps, our take, what we think about it, and then how we want our point of view to be represented. So we're going to talk about replaceable things, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, AI's going to take my job. I'm like, hopefully, but share this. I thought this was very interesting.
Let's just hope. Yeah. I'm taking you back to my heart, I guess, which is being very practical, right? So it's all, for me, it's very hard to get a concept and understand it before I find an example for myself in real life. So what you're seeing here is a real CV. It's a CV from someone who just lost their job. She was really good at her job. She actually always received good bonuses and a very high grade, but then she just lost her job overnight. This is her CV. So we can see here that she knows, I don't know, Azure and DevOps, Python data, and it's pretty good, right? Like 18 months ago, even a year ago, we would have been like, okay, fine, we can find a space for that. That's amazing. But does it read like a prompt to you?
Do you feel like you could prompt and have this job done for you? Who feels that they can do a prompt in some Copilot-y thing and they can do the things that
the
it says
version control, the basic automation, the SDLC. Yeah. A lot of this can be done with a prompt, right? Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it can be done with a prompt. That's teams of people, right? So how do we, and we're like, okay, so maybe AI did take some jobs. Maybe it did, but it created so many more.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. So the AI will definitely take those parts of a job that you previously used to list on your CVs. The technology, the skills you have. Like I passed these certifications and learned this language. Yeah, AI can do those probably better with you than with a rando off the street. But the parts of jobs that are more interesting now are the parts we didn't have time to think about before.
Yeah.
We ironically have more time to think, but we're just taking on more work.
We need to take it. We need to take the time. And this is an example of somebody taking the time.
Okay, you have to hold the clicker during the box thing.
This
is Andrew's box thing.
This is Andrew's box thing. Andrew, for those of you who know Andrew Welch, he's an incredible presenter and he spends an incredible amount of time doing PowerPoint decks and everybody's like, wait, what? What about cowork? But what he does is he put in every single one of those boxes and I could see him like think about what he's going to put in the box. Us as an organization, we do a lot of strategy, complex architecture, and then we solve the most complex issues that an organization has. In order to be able to talk about that, we gather data. This data, what did I do? Wait. Ghost.
It doesn't want to.
It doesn't. This data is normally measured on impact, right? So we tell people, we try to help organizations establish what they should do first. Of course, all of this data exists, right? A lot of it exists in in reality, in statistics everywhere. But does AI have the intuition to understand what to do with it? And do we have the necessary information to actually prompt it correctly? Because we've all decided that the best thing for an organization to do is apply the lowest effort for the highest impact. And then we realized that that's not a thing. We realized it from years of working with firms who were trying to do a strategy and roadmap and actually do digital transformation, for a lack of a better word. It's also bad to go for the highest effort, even if you have, the highest impact. It's still a lot of work to do, a lot of planning, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to take you through this entire thing and how it was worked, but I can tell you that this was data from tens of organizations doing complex workloads, and we figured out a pattern in Excel spreadsheets with grading that they had, and we saw that there actually is a silver bullet, that the best thing to do is to focus on those 4 things, right? For high impact, but medium to low effort right now, to quickly help, frankly, our client not lose their job. That's our goal, making our clients successful. All of this stuff is human made.
So people should focus on high impact, medium effort work.
But in order to understand what that is, we have all this data, and then you have all of the cognition.
Yes, because you need actually a human to say effort.
So this is a new job, right?
Yeah, this is a new job. A human has to say the effort. AI can measure maybe the impact, but AI does not know the effort level.
It won't.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. You had a question. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, and you explain your jobs.
And so we know that the jobs are there. And in fact, we are hearing that both Microsoft, Anthropic, Amazon, Google, all of these organizations actually hired more developers this year than ever before. And a lot of them, stopped firing people as well, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hired more devs this year than we hired in like the last 2 years combined, because we quickly realized, y'all, we can make more products. For that, what do you need? Devs.
But what do these devs do? They put their human skills and their human heart, cognition, and presence together with AI skills and AI tools, and they achieve a 56% increase in their salaries as well, right?
Yes.
So 70% of our current skills are still relevant, but we just need to understand how to shape them in a way that's either going to improve our life, improve our current job, get us a new job, and make us happy overall. I work with organizations all the time who are so focused on the pool of what's important right now and on their jobs right here in this moment that they tell you, I don't care about your AI stuff. I need you to solve my problem right now. I have no interest in you training my people. Zero. I need you to solve my problem right now. And if you work for one of these people, run, because they're going to lose their job.
If they refuse to even think about it.
To even think about it, to even allow their people to be engaged.
They don't have to be doing AI. They have to know it's a thing. That's all.
Exactly. To absolutely know it's there, and to build upon the skills that their staff have.
Okay, so let's get to the heart of what we want to talk about today. AI needs, who knows what MCP is? Okay, this conference is very, very technical, so I do not need to explain MCP to you. But that's what AI needs to be grounded. But what do we humans need to be grounded? We need HCP, Human Context Protocol, right? So let's do it. Like, we are going to identify our HCP here as a group. How many of you came here with someone they know? A bunch of you? Okay, so if you came here with someone you know, you're going to do this together, because Anna and I found each other's HCP with a conversation. And it helps if they don't live in the same bias of you, right? Because AI is biased, and so are you. So it's much better to look at AI's answer to your HCP and a human's answer. So if you didn't come here with someone, ask someone when you leave here who you've worked with preferably, or someone who, just knows you very, very well. Do not ask your mother. I'm just telling you right now. Do not ask them. Okay. All right. So let's do the HCP test.
Let's do the HCP.
Okay. So as a reminder, this is what HCP is. You want to take a picture. You're going to see this like 6 more times, but this will help you just remember the prompts. Okay. So heart is how you connect with others, right? What do people thank you for? We found that to be a good test to see what people thank you for. They're not like, thank you, Donna, for writing good COBOL code. No, they're like, thank you, Donna, for not making that COBOL meeting the most boring thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. That's all. It's cognition is how you think. What thinking tends to come very naturally for you that's different than others. We're going to talk about some examples of what that is. And the third one is presence, how others experience you. How do others feel when you are in the room, and what is their response to you? So we're going to do a test on Anna. So this is Anna. I'm going to ask her some awkward questions, and you all will observe. So this is Anna presenting at Microsoft Ignite last fall. She went through the HCP exercise in real time back then because they were presenting their product called Centru AI, which is an analysis product for responsible AI. How responsible is your AI? Measurement system. But she had to figure out how to tell the story. You can't just go up and say, Centru AI is blah, 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 blah. You have to say like, who am I? Why do I care about this? How did we think about the problem? And how is she going to present this? They actually spent 4 hours one night writing down this pitch. And the next day she got up there and smashed it to 2 million viewers? Yeah, a lot of million viewers. Okay, so when we go through and figure this out, because many of us are brain first people, cognition is easier. Starting with heart is awkward. I couldn't do it. Our friends couldn't do it. So it's almost easier to start with brain, right? And then go to presence and then end with heart. So Anna, just click one more time and we're going to, go through the interview process. So what kind of thinking comes naturally to you?
Always. I look at a thing and I think there must be a simpler way of doing this. I love a disaster. I'm best in a situation room. If there's a problem, like you will not take me away from my computer for days until I solve it. So that's my cognition. I always think, no, there's a simpler way of doing this. This is way too complicated. Needlessly complicated.
Correct. So when there's total and utter chaos, you're like, this is not as chaotic as you think.
It's not. When like customer comes to you, we've just lost $200 million. What do we do? And I'm like, well, how do you mean you lost it? Like where? Like no,
in a bank.
That's not as complicated as you think.
Yeah.
We'll find it. This is all imaginary money anyway. Nobody saw it. Don't worry.
It's all imaginary money anyway.
It's true.
I'm glad you're recording this, Andrew, for your snippets to your customers. Okay, so let's talk about how does the room change when you engage?
Well, I always look at these intricate issues or complexities or appearances of complexities with curiosity. So for me, the one thing that I remove immediately is the blame culture. I don't care who deployed a new project and why. I don't care who didn't test properly. I absolutely don't care who took the decision. I care about the details of this issue that we're facing with right now. Immediately, people start turning on their cameras.
That's right. And to you, that's a sign.
They
start turning on cameras, engaging.
Problem solved.
Because they feel listened to. They don't feel like they're going to get blamed.
Yes, they're not going to get fired. Okay. That's fine.
So, and then what do people thank you for? What are the problems you tend to take on more and people thank you for?
Because I tend to rather straight on solve the issue, understand what the complexity behind it is. Many people understand it with me. Mm-hmm. So next time they know exactly what question to ask.
So you get rid of the top layer of complexity so you have a bit more order.
be more order and like repeatability in a way, I feel.
So you don't take the laundry out of the machine and throw it on the dining room table and leave it there. You actually put it away in boxes.
I do.
Yes.
I categorize it.
Nice. Okay. So we were having this conversation and we boiled this down to this line that I like so much. I love a disaster. And I heard you guys laugh at it because that's memorable. Right? And hers is, from what I'm hearing, right? Remember, you can't read the label from inside the jar. It really helps to have someone else say these things to you because you think this is normal. It's a superpower. To you, that's not super. Superheroes don't think their superpower is super. They just think it's normal, right? I can't think of any superheroes, but Batman's good at driving, right? He doesn't think he's good at driving. Is he good at driving? I don't know. So it's so helpful to have someone be like, that's a superpower. You do it a lot and you don't even realize, right? So for Anna, it was like, I love a disaster. Your disaster is not as bad as it seems, right? That's her line. Like, your disaster is not as bad as it seems. That's a beautiful line. I would lean into that, right? Who would be intrigued to meet this person? Because I'd be like, have you seen SharePoint? She's like, no, it's not as bad as you think. I'm like, have you seen my SharePoint? She's like, that might be. So I thought just going through this exercise, you saw the conversation, right? It's not like one line, there it is. Yeah. It's you go through it and then you come up with a liner that makes sense for you only. Not something you see on LinkedIn. I synergize high complex issues into, morphisms and pitch them or whatever. It's more like a one-liner said in human language that you can repeat to a human and it makes sense. And it's something you're willing to say out loud without cringing and dying. That part matters. Okay. You want to see mine? Okay.
Absolutely. So this is now it's Donna's turn.
Okay. So my turn.
We did one exercise. The second, now next is you. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah. Next is going to be all of you. So prepare. Okay. Ready?
So what do you want to start with heart?
No, I never want to start with it.
So what kind of thinking?
So
really comes naturally
back
to
one
you.
more.
Where's yours?
Back. I'm going to take the clicker from you.
I think you are done. Should.
You are done. You are done with it. You're done with the clicker. What? You're on moratorium. Wait. What has happened to this?
Yes, we're good. Well done.
Your disaster is now a disaster.
Never as
okay.
bad as you think.
Disaster woman over here. You see what she's doing?
Never as bad.
This is why they take the clicker away. Okay. Now.
It's okay. We know this stuff by heart.
So what thinking comes naturally to me? I believe all of life and work is a big old experiment. Okay. Everything is an experiment. I'm always doing stupid things for the story. Because the worst thing, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, right? Either way, it's going to be a good story. I do believe that. So for me, I approach everything in my work as an experiment. Someone's like, Donna, do you think we should take your agent conference to like 5 cities? The one that was very successful here. I'm like, yeah, we should take it to 100 cities. They're like, oh, wow. Okay. Let's run it in 100 cities and see where it takes. They're like, that's a horrible idea. I'm like, what time? Right? So for me, everything is an experiment. You don't know the answer until you try a lot of things. I'm a big believer in the Beethoven model. You all know Beethoven wrote 10,000 symphonies, and we know 4 of them. But he couldn't have written those 4 until he'd written 10,000. So I'm a big fan of this model. I make thousands of dresses a year. You all see 10. I write thousands of lines of code to solve one problem. I ship 4. Right? I'm a big believer in try them all and see what sticks. So that's my thinking style.
What
present?
Why? How does the room change? How do you feel like?
I think people are ready for shenanigans.
Once you
yeah.
Take it to 100, everybody's like, huh.
We're like, I think people are expecting a situation, right? They're like, she's going to cause a scene about something. It's going to be funny.
Right? You feel like they also feel like they're going to be able to do their thing?
I think so. I think they're like, you are so bad at this that I think I can do it also. But I really do think that is my way. It's like saying, it's explaining my technique, my framework, and saying, you too can do the thing. They're like, I think I can do the thing actually, because it doesn't seem as ridiculous when you say it out loud like this. And then
So this is what people thank you for.
So people thank me for this. They're like, thank you for making that really boring thing really funny. Okay. And then thank you for making this thing, this intimidating sounding thing, feel like something I can actually do. So mine are very much about making it entertaining, right? Hers is useful. Mine are entertaining. So do not call me for your hard problem. Call me for your boring problem, right? I say, bring me your boring problem. It will be funny. That is my liner. Okay. Do you see how the HCPs are nothing like you've ever heard before? These are the superpowers. Your superpowers aren't, I'm good at coding. That's not it. It's like the way you do something is the way you do everything, right? And once you figure out the way you do something, you can do it on purpose. And you can be very clear about what you bring to the table in this era of AI. So, Chris, how much time do we have? Okay, you were supposed to give me a 10-minute warning. Okay, so we're going to do your HCP, okay? In the next 5 minutes, next 3 minutes, we're going to do HCP because I have 4 things for you to take away. So let's hear for AI or human can help. If you do not have a human, drop this into the AI tool you use. I'm sure you all use one. Or do it by yourself. Do it with your own head. But remember, you don't know yourself that well. You're inside the jar. You're trying to read the label. This is the prompt. I'm going to share with you the next slide and say, I am doing this weird HCP exercise. What are mine? Okay. So I'm going to show you the thing. That's why I made you take a picture.
So this is the thing.
Yeah.
It's a minute for each of them, and whoever's brave enough to share theirs
gets.
Yes.
It won't be a sharing HCP party. Don't you worry.
It will not be a workshop.
No.
It will include alcohol.
It will include alcohol.
Or not.
Or not.
Or not.
And it will be worth it.
Yes.
Start with cognition, trust me. How do you think? Anna, smile, we're being photographed.
Oh,
all of you in front row smile too.
For the year.
All of you are looking at your phones looking mean. Okay.
Oh, did anybody set a timer?
He was supposed to. Chris is... What?
No, not Chris. Andrew did, yeah?
Chris has failed 100% at the task we gave him. His superpower is not keeping track of time.
I was given 2 tasks, and I have succeeded at both of them.
What?
What were your tasks?
This.
And bringing the... Yeah.
Okay, does anyone have one they want to share? I'm about to start calling on people. Okay, yeah. No. Chris, what's yours? Okay, let's talk through it. How do you think?
Go for it.
Okay, you go. Well, Anna, now she broke it. It was not me.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Honestly, so fixable.
But it's funny, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of you are going to remember this? Yeah. That time Anna broke the stage.
I did break the stage. You did
right.
too.
Okay.
So which one do you want me to share?
Any.
So how does the room change when you engage people, pay attention, feel challenged, feel seen, get energized, and become more honest?
I like that.
Yeah.
They become more honest.
Yeah.
I like that one. Versus becoming liars. That's really good because you make people feel safe. Yes.
I need to know that I would never judge them.
Yeah.
I truly wouldn't.
I like that. That's good. That's a good one. Yeah. Like, do you feel judged? You won't with me.
Not with me.
If you need a one-liner for yours, ask me. I love one-liners.
Who's next? Who wants to give us a cognition or heart?
I have 5 homeworks. So don't get creative. All right, go.
Terry wants to go.
This is amazing. It tagged me exactly because...
Look.
Okay, sorry. Terry, because you live it every day and how you show up for partners, I won't name them, for your family and for yourself, let me give you a crisp, grounded read of your heart.
Wow.
I thought it was pretty amazing.
What's that? Like you write romance novels for your partners. Oh, okay. That's cute. Okay. But anyway, I want everyone to do the exercise, okay? Spend some time.
Yeah.
Spend some time, do the exercise. I recommend you do this with a human and then ask it the AI product you use also.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have bias from both points of view. It's important to triangulate, but work with a person to make that one-liner because it will be really, really helpful for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Who thought this was useful? Okay. So very good news. We're not done. You're going to now use the heck out of your HCP. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you know it, you're going to use the heck out of it. What you're going to do is you're going to go deeper into problems. So AI is going to generate you from blank page to a solution, but using your HCP, go deeper and say, you know what? I'm going to learn more about this topic. Fine. I have the first version. Who thinks we used AI to make these slides? 1.5. You know why? Because there's so many freaking tweets in it, right? So you are correct. We used AI to make the slides, but I did not show you the slides AI made. I wrote the talk track. We wrote the talk track on a call. We recorded the call. We recapped the call. We made a talk track out of the call notes into a script. We used Copilot to generate the first version. We both hated it. 4 versions later, we actually sat down and made these slides while drinking. The old school way, right? So that was it.
And not while drinking as well.
And that's why we know the content. You're not going to know the content if you ship AI content, right? It doesn't work that way. Now you're doing PowerPoint therapy. Don't ship AI content. Okay.
No.
So the next one is now I broke the clicker. Wait, is find your fixery. We wanted to say a different F word, but she said no. So find your fixery. So AI, there's many kinds of people in the world, people who consume AI, people who go and create stuff with AI, but only the expert can fix it, right? You've seen it.
Exactly. And if you are you a dev? Do you do DevOps and data and all of the things that my person before was doing? Great. Make AI do it for you and then fix it, right? Help it reason for you. Learn more things. Do more with your power.
It's actually a very good test for you for cognition. If you see an AI generated something, what can you identify as wrong immediately? What is that specific area? Because that's cognition right there. That is already your expertise. Okay, next is connect with more humans. I'm a big fan of this. I think instead of having AI help you, you connect with people. This is very funny, okay? I was writing a summary blog of all the people who do all the DevOps blogs in the world. And it said, oh, you could look at Donovan Brown, who's my colleague, who left his old DevOps blog. Here's one. It said, left Microsoft, likely dead. Not dead. I'm on a Teams chat with them. Like, Donovan, Copilot thinks you're dead. He's like, why does it think that? There's no obituary, nothing. Like, likely dead. Yeah. So that's something for us to all think about. When we stop creating content for AI, it's going to think we're dead. I did not think about this problem until right now. And I'm like, oh shit, we have a different issue later. But ask a human and not AI. Sometimes ask a human and AI, but use AI as a starting point to drive the conversation, which is what Anna and I have done for this session. I am a big fan of collecting dots. Okay, what does that mean? Before you could connect the dots, you need to collect the dots. This is my blog post from 2018 because I was leading a fandom, which is Windows Insider program, 20 million people doing something. So I'm like, okay, I software engineered for 12 years. I'm doing this insider program. I've started public speaking. I did fiction writing, connecting the dots, which is why, you're stuck with me now. And then I got into fashion design. Then I was coaching entrepreneurs. And then I started taking improv on stage. You would think improv on stage would be something I loved. I have hated it more than anything in the world. It was awful because it wasn't real world things. It's like, you're in a tractor. It's on fire. There's a barn. I'm like, what are we doing? How about you're in a meeting? Someone just called on you. You have no idea what they're talking about. You've signed up for work. That's a real scenario, right? So it should be improv for nerds, not improv for fun people. So but you got to go out and collect more dots in the world. And once you do, you connect them, because AI cannot connect your dots. It cannot. It can help you, but it does not know what you actually like and what actually stirs your, what is it? Heart, cognition, presence, right? And then be the explorer, not the critic. This is Anna's AI graffiti.
Like I said, not very good, right? You should see it, and you should see some of Chris's. They're very, very good. But this is all the best that AI could do. So, and it even says, be curious, not judgmental, when I told it to say, be the explorer, not a critic. So this comes from my own experience with within our work. We work with many organizations, and part of our work is to help bring Microsoft products into GA. And for that, we work with many partners to make it possible. And here's where I feel like AI plays a role in our cultural division or embrace as well. I'm seeing people from all around the world take the same question and act upon it completely differently. So you have those who take your product and test it out, and then they go into so much detail, and then they come with like a laundry list of things that your product does not do and why it sucks so much. And then you have other organizations who take the product, understand that some things don't work. They make up weird workarounds for the steps that don't work. They write down the things that are not present in the documentation or are already incorrect in the documentation. Because remember, this is like a moving organism. Like it grows so fast, like a plant, but like it's so quick. And they do something with it. Like they lead with curiosity. They record themselves, do demos.
No, we're getting thrown out. So basically, go be curious, go break stuff, because it's much easier to build and
if it doesn't work, it's fine.
Very important. Do not outsource your HCP to AI. Her job is to make disasters less disastery. Don't outsource that. My job is to make boring things funny. Don't outsource that. AI is really not funny. I'm also not funny, but I'm funnier than AI, right? So whatever your HCP is, do not outsource that. Outsource everything else in your life, but do not outsource that. And if you do need to learn AI, which you do, I think it is the clicker. Now we broke it for real. Do you want to just hit next?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if you actually do need to learn AI, go learn it. Right? There's a bunch of soft skills stuff in here that's actually kind of good. If you're curious about the job data stuff, we have a whole thing around LinkedIn's book called Open to Work. There's a bunch of job data and stuff in there that'll show you like what are all the things that employers are looking for. And it comes from Microsoft and LinkedIn's Future Work Report. So we also are starting a 5-city conference in September called the Future Work Summit, where we're going to go talk about what the future of jobs looks like, what kinds of roles we're hiring for, people are hiring for, and what kind of skills they need. And this HCP will be my keynote for all of those. Thank you all so much for being here. Please go invest in yourself. Thank you.